Welcome to Season 2 of the Shekina Meditation Podcast, created by community members and friends of Shekina Garden in Pai, Thailand. Shekina communities are dedicated to creating free devotional spaces of Christian practice for spiritual seekers and travelers around the world. We post Christ-centered guided meditation each week to help you in your personal or small group practice. You can find episode show notes and other information at shekinacommunity.com. Hey friends, this is Ray, and I'm sitting with my friend Ro at the garden in Pai, Shekina Garden, and we have a meditation for you today. It's Season 2, Episode 45 of the podcast.
And as always, our dearly beloved patrons are supporting this podcast. We are raising money to help keep our community running, and our patronage is a part of the way that we do that. If you're interested, you can find us at patreon.com/Shekina Meditation Podcast and support us for $1 or more per month.
Another way that you can support us is by rating or reviewing our podcast on iTunes or on YouTube, or you can share it some other way, either on Instagram or Facebook with your friends and families. You can share it with anyone you meet. And we are also on Spotify, so you can find us there.
Mm-hmm.
And we have an Instagram page. It's just Shekina Garden, so you can follow us there as well. When you support the podcast, we get the idea that you love our little thing that we put in the world, this little offering of meditation. So thank you so much.
Yeah, we really appreciate it. Today's meditation is an imagination meditation guided by Ray on the healing of the woman who touched the hem of Jesus' clothes. So Ray will offer some exercises to help bring our minds into a quiet space and then guide us through the imagination meditation. Feel free to dream away, let your imagination go wild.
And after you're done with that part of the meditation, we recommend that you take some time to process either with others. If you're sitting with others and listening, you can pass a talking stick around a circle, ask questions, just share from each person's experience of what happened during the meditation, what came up for them, what they noticed. Or on your own, you can write your ideas or thoughts in a journal and make a voice recording, do a little drawing in response, whatever helps to kind of carry the meditation with you into the rest of your day. Let's begin. Today's meditation is an imagination meditation, and it's a kind that allows you to be your very most imaginative and childlike self. So it's a sort of child meditation in a way, where we just put ourselves in a scene. This one is from the life of Christ, Jesus walking around in the world as a human, and allows us to just enter in like with all of our senses. So I will guide it, telling a little story, and then invite you at different points to come in with your senses, like to really, I'll just kind of prompt saying like, inviting you to use your senses to be there. It can be really fun. It can be a little bit challenging if it's a new kind of thing for you. And I will try to allow you to imagine as much of it as you can on your own without giving a lot of detail. So there'll be a lot of silence and a lot of time to really play. I guess it's kind of like play. This one is a meditation on, there's a story about Jesus in the Bible where he's been asked to come and heal someone. But on the way, he encounters another person who needs healing. And so, it's sort of a story within a story. but like a really meaningful moment in many ways. I think that one thing about the style that we use for meditation, the way that we do it, is like the word Shekina. It means, the divine presence. And the idea is that we come to sit within the presence as well as we meditate on the divine, but we are not alone. We're with the divine as well at the same time. So it's sort of this all-encompassing thing. And it's a practice that is about redirecting your thoughts. So it's really totally okay to be distracted. We all have different amounts of experience with meditation, and so just to not ever be discouraged if you get distracted, that's part of it, and coming back is the practice. Just coming back, using anything outside to direct you back, anything that brings you away, using it to come back, and just really being gentle with yourself and friendly, I guess, in meditation. So let's begin with our posture. Finding, if you have any sore muscles or anything, you can kind of work them out, or if you need to move your neck or your arms, and just really allow yourself to stretch. And then when you're ready, you can begin the practice by drawing the crown of your head up, nice and tall. Maybe you want to have a position of openness with your hands open, or just resting on your knees, whatever feels more comfortable. This type of meditation is not, it's not only about posture, and you are actually free to move and to shift if you need to. You can find any comfortable position while it's happening. Normally we would suggest one that's not completely reclined because it's easy to fall asleep. But if that's what you really need today, that's also welcome. And as you find your posture drawing you up, you can also begin to become aware of your breath. For now, you can follow it with your mind and your thoughts as it expands your lungs, and then follow it all the way back out into the air around you. Become aware of your sense of touch, the way your body takes up this space. The way that gravity acts on you, where you connect to the ground. The feeling of air on your skin. You can bring your awareness to your sense of hearing. Noticing which sounds feel close to you or which ones feel far away. You can use sounds within your meditation if you like, drawing them with you as you imagine, or using them to bring you back if you get distracted. You can identify which sounds are from nature and which ones are man-made. We've all arrived here in the circle from somewhere else. We bring our thoughts with us. Maybe there are conversations that we've had or things we need to do later today. You can take a moment and see what's going through your mind. Spend some time watching your thoughts as they float by. Imagine them like a stream under your feet or beside you as you stand on the bank and watch your thoughts. Just notice them. When you're ready, you can begin to follow them, walking alongside the stream. Walking until you notice that the stream is emptying, flowing into a large, still pond or a small lake. And the water becomes very still. And you can sit or stand by the lake. Notice what's around you. Be here in this place, which is very still, very quiet. Maybe the sunlight is reflecting on the water. This is your place of focus, where you are welcome, and this is a place of love. And Spirit has invited you here. The divine is here with you. You belong here. You can stay as long as you like. If you're comfortable, you can offer a few words to the divine presence. Say something like, I'm here, or if you have a question or a need, you can say that. Just inwardly. As we go into the meditation, you can enter in different ways. You can pretend that you are one of the people, or you can imagine that you are floating above the scene. Like a fly on the wall kind of idea, something that where you're just there, or you can really place yourself in the scene where you can interact. Feel free to be as imaginative as you like. I will ask a few questions as we go along, but you can continually ask yourself these questions as well. What do you see? What do you hear? How do you feel? Where are you? What can you touch? What do you smell? And to begin with, imagine that you are in a crowd in ancient Jerusalem. I'm sorry, not in Jerusalem, in ancient Israel. Just in a small town. There are many, many people around. It's quite crowded. What do you see? How do you feel? And what does it sound like? The crowd is moving, following along beside and around Jesus, who is walking just ahead. You know that Jesus has been called very urgently to go and heal a sick little girl. The crowd is following along to see. Where are you? You put yourself somewhere in the crowd. Where are you? Can you see Jesus? Are you close? Are you far? What can you hear? What's the feeling in the crowd? As you're still traveling on the way, a woman, an older woman, approaches and comes up behind Jesus while he's walking. She stoops down and touches the hem of his clothes. And you notice her do it. Imagine this moment. What does she look like? And what are you feeling as you see it? After the woman touches his clothes, Jesus stops in his tracks and he turns and he looks around and says, "Who touched me?" And Peter, one of his followers, says, "Master, people are all around you. Everyone is touching you." But Jesus says, "Someone touched me. I felt power go out of me." The crowd, who was very ready to get to the next place, is now stopped. Everything has paused. As you witness this interaction, what do you feel? What's going on in the crowd? How are they reacting? What do you hear? And what do you see? The woman comes forward and she falls down at the feet of Jesus and says, "It was me. I have been bleeding for 12 years and no one has ever been able to heal me. I spent all my money on doctors and I have nothing left. I have been physically weak and unclean. Imagine the scene. What do you hear? What's happening? What do you see? What does it look like? She goes on to say, "As soon as I touched your clothes, I was immediately healed." Again, what do you hear and feel? What do you see? Jesus says to her, "Your faith has healed you. Go in peace." Take some time to imagine what happens next, or what the response is to these words. What do you feel or hear or see all around you? And when you're ready, you can begin to bring yourself back to this space here by returning to your breath. Following the rhythm of your breath, you're inhaling and exhaling. And you can maybe move your fingers and your toes and really enter all the way back into this space. And we'll start to transition into the third part of our meditation, the sharing circle. Thank you for joining today. There will be a new guided meditation available each week, so don't forget to subscribe to iTunes or sign up for our newsletter to get podcasts delivered to your inbox at www.shekinacommunity.com/podcast newsletter. Also, you can rate or review on iTunes or sign up as a patron at patreon.com/Shekina Meditation Podcast. Have a beautiful week. Many blessings to you.